Hi everyone, so this reading is for all cancers for June 2017. This is my second video. I'll post the first one. There's not, it's pretty long, it's just me more so talking in that one. But for those of you that want to hear it, it's mainly for two girls that we're talking about makeup, a business type thing there. Kind of maybe you girls want to check that out. That might benefit you guys. I'll still post it for those of you that want to watch it. But I just seem to, it's a lot of interruptions, phone ringing, door going off. I'm not even lying. I can smell it still. I lit my hair on fire there. It was a quick little, I bent over to go flick on a lamp. And the candle there, it wasn't paying attention, and the bottom of the hair got a little fire happening there where it's one of those days, people. Just gotta get back into it here. All right. So for the first card we have is the Five of Swords. Your second card is the Ace of Swords. Sorry, the smell is really irritating me. It's never happened before. Note to all you people out there, if you're going to turn on a light and there's a candle on the table and you got to reach over it, move the candle, and or walk around it. The next card we have is the King of Pentacles. We have the Ace of Pentacles. We have the Ten of Pentacles. Your next card is the Five of Pentacles. We have the Ten of Swords. See the card. The Two of Pentacles. And then we have the Six of Pentacles as your last card. It smells really irritating. I didn't have to even share that, you know? Like that's a stupid moment, pretty embarrassing, but whatever. It happens, you know what I mean? Like So, the energies that I'm getting, we're going to try to cover your home, relationship, and work. Relationships come in all forms, so that means it comes in the forms of partnerships. Partnerships come in the form of siblings, spouses, friends, co-workers. It could be children even, grandparents, parents, you know, like, so apply it to where you see fit. So what we got coming in for your relationships, we have the Five of Swords here. So it seems like right now you guys are in a very defensive state. Like you're very I'm getting very defensive. Like, it could be in the past there was so much arguments going on that, you know, like now it's just become a habit. Like like sometimes you can argue just because it's what you're used to and it's what you know. It seems like in the past, this is what's going to come in from the universe. So it's in relationships. This is communication. So there could be some harsh communication that comes in towards you guys. How you're going to have to react to this, the cards are saying that you will be victorious, okay? So, and whatever this communication is, you will be victorious. But in order to be victorious over it, okay, like, because energies are interchangeable, right? Like, so, like, it all depends on you, how you handle the situation. We have the Ace of Pentacles here, okay? So with the Ace of Pentacles, you see the guys looking at the ring. These cards I got because they remind me of Lord of the Ring and The Hobbit and Merlin. You're going to have to start new with your communication style, okay? Because with this is this card actually represents Mars and Aquarius, which I have Mars and Aquarius, and for a long time I was always like, well, why is it so negative the card, right? Like, because Mars and Aquarius, that energy is not negative. That energy is very very humanitarian. And it's people with Mars and Aquarius, a Mars and Aquarius and a Mars and Capricorn person. Those are the two people. If you know they have those signs, you don't want to argue with them. Like generally speaking, well, I figured it out later that, you know, like, because this guy's victorious, right? Like generally speaking, those two signs, especially Capricorn, a Capricorn Mars, you won't be able to ever defeat those guys, because a Capricorn Mars is methodical, and Aquarius Mars is humanitarian, so they consider all facts before they actually make their decision, and that's why they're victorious. That's why Five of Swords, it's victory over. People are like, in tarot, they say that it's, you know, like fighting an argument and somebody getting one up on them. With the Aquarius Mars, they always win because they have foresight. They're humanitarian, so they know how to handle the energies. They're very good psychologists too. So like they come from an internal aspect rather than external. They don't act to the external environment. They act from internal, right? So that's coming through in relationships with the Ace of Pentacles. You need to start acting from the internal part of you instead of acting to exterior. What's happening outside in the exterior, that's affecting the way that you're communicating. So you need to come from the interior. So like when people are coming to you and because it seems like, you know, there's going to be harsh communication, you need to not respond. That's an exterior thing happening to your environment, right? And it's exterior influence. You want to come from the inside, internal, right? Like, so you're gonna have to internally sit on it for a little bit and then respond. But it's gonna have to be, you're gonna have to have a new communication style, right? This is an offer, so you're gonna have to offer it. So in the past, if there was arguments over a person in a relationship that you had with a person, well, then you're gonna have to change the way that you communicate. It's gonna have to come from you, right? Like, not the other person. Or what we have coming in from work. The work is Ace of Swords. It's sitting beside the Five of Swords, and we have the King of Pentacles. So this means also it's an idea, right? It's a new start, a mental idea that you have. I'm pretty handsy, eh? My mom's Portuguese, so they're quite handsy. Where it smells really irritating. The idea that you have is really good. It's really good. The Ace, you have the Ten of Pentacles. This is what you're gonna have to do. It's the Ten of Pentacles. And the that doesn't mean go out there spending money. Okay, if you watch for those girls that had left comments about makeup or whatever, I'll post the second video or the first video, and I'll just put I'll put Cancer, but I won't put monthly reading on it or anything like that. Okay, so for you guys that want to watch it, you can watch that. There's some information in there for you two girls about business, with the Pentacles. Okay, so these are what I'm getting is, it's like, okay, first of all, don't get overwhelmed. Okay, like when you start a business, it can be a very overwhelming thing. You're lacking confidence, though, in some manner. You are lacking it. I see that with the Five of Pentacles here. Like, it's too like you're feeling overburdened and overwhelmed with it, and it's like you see all the options in the ways that you can go with it, right? Like, so you're seeing the bigger picture, the potential, and that's becoming like, if you start looking at the bigger picture, that's going to start overwhelming you. And what you need to do is you need to rein it in. You have the Ace of Pentacles here. Okay, we have the Five of Pentacles, if you see the cards, right? And then we have the Ten of Pentacles. Okay, so you need to rein it in, all right? And you need to focus at one thing at a time. Like, you're gonna have, like with the Ten of Pentacles here, there's 10 different pentacles. So you're gonna have, like, there's different things that you need to study and you need to learn. Okay, but in the beginning of it, it's the creative phase of it. So you need practice. Okay, you need to make a list as well. Start like writing things down. Okay, the reason why I'm saying that you guys aren't confident, or you're lacking the confidence, and you shouldn't be at all. Like, don't. Like, the only reason you're lacking it is because it's overwhelming for you, right? It's seeming like too big of a challenge for you, and it's not. It's just because you're looking at things from the bigger perspective. It can seem overwhelming. You, with the Ace of Pentacles, rein it in, okay? Rein it in and just focus on the first thing, the first task, okay? And when you do that first task, when you notice that there's other things, write it down. Okay, because then later on you can go over it and reevaluate it. You have what's coming in from the universe at work is the two of Pentacles. Pardon me. The Two of Pentacles. You also see the infinity symbol in there, if you'd see that. So with the Two of Pentacles, what I'm getting, it's a missed opportunity. And that's an energy that's coming in. So that's interchangeable in the sense, I got something in my throat. Pardon me. In the sense that if you get too overwhelmed, then you're going to miss the opportunity. Okay, because you might scare yourself out of it. And we don't want that, all right? Like, so don't get overwhelmed, okay? This is also, you guys could be passing up a really good opportunity, it's saying too, right? So do your research. If you're getting an opportunity for a job, do your research on the job, okay? Like, look them up. I forget what that site's called. There's, you can check companies, their backgrounds, if there's been complaints or anything against them. You know, if they've been bankrupt, there's, you know, like, there's certain companies that what they do is they open up and then they shut down. And then they open up in a new name. It's kind of how they beat the system. I know in Canada it's a lot harder, but in the United States, that's what a lot of construction companies do over there. I've studied a lot of business, so I'm well aware of the tricks of the trade that people use. I also studied psychology. In psychology, there's a lot of different areas you can study, right? And I've done a lot of psychology in human behavior. I've done body language. I studied a lot of body language for years, but I did a lot of psychology and consumer behavior and psychology and marketing as well, right? That's all because I'm interested in, also as well, it's the tricks of the trade. It's what people use, right? It's why I can, like, I can watch other readers and see, like, I can tell when they're fake, right? Like, I can tell when people are faking things. It also comes from knowledge that I've gained as well as my astrological chart, right? So, like, don't be fooled by people's surroundings. What they have is not actually what they really have. A lot of them are master manipulators, and a lot of successful business people are master manipulators is what they are. So for work, okay, do your research if it's a new company and you're concerned. There's also a sense here, I don't want you guys to miss out on an opportunity here. There's an opportunity that, like, I don't even think you guys are seeing it. It's going to be offered to you and you're not even seeing it. You're just going to bypass it. And it's saying with the Two of Pentacles that you can miss the opportunity for some of you. What we got coming in at home is the King of Pentacles. So the King of Pentacles is coming across as a father figure. But for some of you guys, this is you yourself. You might have Earth in your chart, maybe, or something. I don't know. There's a real high focus, Cancers, in your reading about finances and numbers. Accounting might be the first area that you guys want to get into and start studying, okay? Because that's the major aspect of business, okay? So while you're going out there and you're practicing and getting and whatever you're doing, and when you first start in a business, you want to be doing it for free, and you want to be practicing. You want to find the errors. You don't want to be endangering yourself, right? You don't want to start a business and then have that be taken from you, because then you're going to be discouraged, right? And the biggest issue that people have in business, I'm a change agent as well. Change is quite hard. It's the one consistent thing that comes in life, and it's the hardest thing in life that people accept. And in business, a lot of businesses end up shutting down because they can't adapt. They can't be, they're not changeable. So they hire a change agent to come in, and a change agent, what they do is, it's a lot of like negotiations and stuff as well. I do have negotiations in my background. They come in and they basically they teach people how to adapt. That's what they do. Because what happens in business too, a lot of the times it's not actually their business that's the problem. It's the people that's the problem. They can't change and they can't adapt, so it stunts the business, and that includes the owner of the business themselves. A lot of the time, as a change agent, when they come in, they mainly have to deal with the business owner. They're hired on to deal with the higher ups, but it ends up coming down to the business owner that has to change his way because he's stunting everybody else usually. So at home, what's coming through is the same thing. At home, you have to make changes because it's stunting everybody else. And, you know, like, they might not be able to make the changes themselves, so you have to do it. You got to be setting an example. But this is budgeting is coming through at home. You guys are quite worried about finances at home. You might have something that comes up where you might have to fix something too, I'm getting, at home. I don't see you guys needing to be concerned about money. What you need to do is the Five of Pentacles, so you need to make some changes. You do need to start budgeting. You do need to start, accounting is coming strong through too, because this guy's an accountant, or like he's a mathematician. He's very good with numbers, right? So like to gain more stability, if you want more stability, then you got to make changes to your finances and savings coming through here. There might be in a month or two, you might need some money. So what the universe is asking you in this reading is to look at your finances and save up, because down the road something's going to come in that you're going to you need that money for that rainy day. There's going to be a rainy day down the road. What's going to help you is the Six of Pentacles. So like you might, like, when with budgeting, you might be saving more money, but also looking over your bills and stuff like that. You might be getting charged more. You might be able to cut down to a smaller internet package or television package is what it's saying, and you can save money. Somehow when you go through all your finances, that includes all your bills, gas, all of that stuff, somehow when you reevaluate that, you're going to gain more money. Like, that's what it's saying. But I'm also getting you need to save more money because there's a rainy day that, and like, I'm not sure when it's going to happen. It could even be 6 months down the road. You're going to need it. But I'm getting energy that's coming through that you need to save money. You're going to need it. At some point, you're going to need it. So start making those adjustments. I'm also getting at home, okay, you guys, you need to be so for those of you with children, and I bring this up a lot, I always use pizza dough because it's like the simplest thing to make. I was a baker for a while when I was younger. I baked when I was 15 till I was 20. Not in fancy, I made cakes and stuff, but I was more, I enjoyed making breads. Breads, buns, and cinnamon buns. I did stuff like that, specialty breads. That was my thing. Where Sagittarians, they usually are quite experienced in a lot of different areas because they become, they get to a plateau point when they've thought they've learned enough. You know, they can still learn more and grow, but they've gained enough where they get bored and they're like, okay, well, enough is, like, I'm bored with this. You know, they master it and then they move on to something else is what they do. But at home, like, if you have kids and stuff, you need to be getting, like, making pizza dough and letting everybody make their own pizza, more hands-on, right? Because what I'm seeing is there's separation here with all these arrows going different ways. It's like everybody's doing different things at different times. You know what I mean? There's no structure. There's also, like, you need to create structure. So that's eating together instead of the kids eating, watching TV, and the husband in his den eating there, and you doing laundry and eating when you can, you know what I mean? You know what's interesting about cancers? I dated a cancer like for 4 years. He had Libra in him too. And then I have a few really good cancer friends that they're all males. It's really odd. Their laundry. They're very obsessed with their laundry. Their shirts. It's mainly their shirts. They have to be done like they're excellent folders. But they're very particular in the way it needs to be folded. And that might have something to do with because cancers, they go into their shell, so a shirt's like their shell. Our biggest arguments that I ever had in that relationship was about his shirts. Me, like, I never folded them because it would just like set him off. Annoyed the crap out of me. So I would hang all of his stuff up. And even I couldn't even do that proper because like the hanger, you needed to hang it from the bottom of it. It was like an epic thing. But I ended up meeting a few cancer friends, and when I was hanging at their house, I noticed as well that they were quite particular about their shirts. And then when I had a male and a female, and they were married, and when they separated, that's always awkward for a person too, right? Because you got to be friends with both of them. I ended up going to her house, and she said to me, she's like, the biggest thing I miss is laundry. She was like, because he used to fold the laundry all the time, and he's so good at it. Like, he could pack it really nice too, and like, she actually, that was the one thing she said she missed was the laundry. I thought that was hilarious. Maybe you guys want to get into the dry cleaning business. You guys could be like the world's best dry cleaner or something, you know? Like, you never know, you know? Like, dry cleaning's important. There was actually a guy who made a business out of cleaning shoes. I seen that. That's pure freaking genius, man. That's pure genius. I have a Virgo rising, and let me tell you, I love my shoes, but I'm particular, right? I'm very particular about things. So that means like with the things that I like my shoes, I love my shoes. It must be the Leo. I think it's the Leo. Is the Leos like they like shoes and hats. A lot of them have a lot of like scarves and stuff like that, accessories, that type of thing. But I gotta clean my shoes whenever I wear them. I'm very particular about them staying clean, you know, like. So that guy, and he's doing quite well for himself. Like, so think out of the box, you guys, okay? Like, so if you have a small idea, don't think that it's nothing. I want you to think out of the box, okay? Don't do what everybody else is doing. You know what I mean? You like give yourself, if you're gonna get a new idea. So maybe by me speaking about something that simple to you guys can spark something else. You know what I mean? Like, or even if you want to open up your own shoe cleaning business, you know, that guy only has one store. I think it's in New York. I know a lot of people are big into their Jordans and stuff like that, you know what I mean? They spent a lot of money on it, so they want to keep them tip top, you know? And it's basically like, you can start with like the size of a little kiosk store, you know? Like a little, they just drop it off. But at home, there's this, everybody's going separate ways, and you need to rein it in. It's also a lot of people at home might have a lot of different opinions, right? Like, they all want to do different things, or you could be arguing about a vacation where you want to go. Somebody is not happy though. The story goes with this guy is that he made him his weapon, and then he kept this guy here who's running away, he kept him captive. This guy in the back kept him captive to make his weapon. And then when he made his weapon and he shot his arrows out, he quickly ran away. He tried to get away, right? Because he was being kept captive. So that could have some reference to you guys at home. So Cancers, you guys do like your home. You need to get out more. It might be what it's saying. Maybe you have a spouse that's not a homebody and he's feeling like he's being kept captive, right? So you need to get out. Or it could be done vice versa, you know? Like, budgeting's coming through though, you guys. It's quite important to you guys because you're going from the Ace of Pentacles, Ten of Pentacles to the Five of Pentacles. You're worried. You're very concerned. What you need to do is study more. You definitely need to study more. You definitely need to do some more research. Like I said, going over your documentations, your bills, stuff like that. Let's see what else. So we have the King of Wands. Okay, so this is what not to do in your relationships. And that's this guy is quick, he's fast, he's action oriented. But if you see, he has a sword here, right? And his sword is red hot. So that means, again, we're going back to your communication style, you guys. Your communication style has to change. With the Ace of Pentacles here, you gotta, in some manner, you gotta change it. Okay, so he's aggressive. So we're talking about, you guys got to come from your nurturing aspect when you're communicating, okay? Because the thing with anger is, anger is just, it's disappointment is what it is, right? It's frustration coming out, which means it's sadness as well, right? And it's also discomfort because a person doesn't know how to, they don't feel comfortable actually expressing themselves. They don't feel comfortable saying what's really bothering them, saying that, you know, you hurt my feelings by doing this, you know, because why? That makes them look vulnerable, right? Like they feel vulnerable, like they're now giving somebody the power, okay? But what you're doing is you're giving your power away by not doing anything, right? Like, so that needs to change. Like, you need to be vulnerable. That has to start. And if people don't respect it, well, then you know what? It's not a you problem, it's a them problem. You now know that, right? You now know the truth. You now know that, okay, well, this person sees no value in me, or doesn't respect me, or doesn't like me. You know what I mean? These people really, the true nature of them is going to come out. So, like, I don't understand, like, for myself, I guess I have a hard time because of the knowledge that I have, right? Like, I've studied for 15 years, pretty much Saturn, the whole time Saturn's been in my sign. I'm a bookworm, you know, courses and everything. People see vulnerability as a weakness, and it's a strength to be vulnerable. It's a big strength to be vulnerable. And you it's not going to hurt you. You know what I mean? Like, you're going to get a real answer. What's going to hurt you is being fake. What's going to hurt you is being direct. What's going to change that is coming, like, because this is this card too, that, like, separation. The sword's red hot. It's separation. And that's what it's saying not to do, right? So it's, again, Cancer's that tongue. It can really cut somebody when you guys are angry. So when you're angry, take 5 deep breaths, remove yourself from the situation, and then come from the emotional standpoint. All right? Why did that anger you? And then verbally express that. Don't express, don't bite. Okay? Like, don't lash out. You got to give yourself that time to correct the error. Right? Like, you got to give yourself some time to really go inwards and say, okay, why did this anger me? And then you need to verbally express that, communicating it, not angry, not yelling, just communication. That might be with your children as well, right? At work, you have the Wheel of Fortune, which is really good. Let's see this card. So things are going to turn at work, okay? The Wheel of Fortune is opportunity. Again, we're going back with this card here. You guys can miss an opportunity because you're just not seeing the value in it, or it might be you're not seeing that you can do it. You can do it, Cancer. You can do it, all right? You have the ability to do it. Don't doubt yourself. I'm pulling way more cards for you guys than everybody else. And at home, we have the 8 of Swords. So it's coming down to communication styles, all right? You got to communicate with your partner at home. Somebody's turning a blind eye to something. And it could be somebody's emotionally spending and they're hiding it, right? Somebody's hiding finances here. That's what I'm getting. And I don't mean in a negative way. So some of you women might be emotionally shopping or making purchases. Like, they might be tiny purchases, but you're not informing your spouse about it, and that's adding up. Those tiny purchases are adding up. That can be even going to the dollar store. A lot of people, when they go to the dollar stores, they buy a bunch of stuff they don't need. You know, like, my mom has that problem. I had to get her out of that. Or thrift stores. I'm seeing thrift stores shopping here, like going to the thrift store and like buying stuff that you just don't need, right? Like, you really need to reevaluate what you need and what's a want, right? Why do you want it? If you want it just because you can have it, or it's something that you know that you enjoy, well, do you need it? No, then you don't need it. You know, you got to start budgeting here. All right, you guys, that's going to be it for this month. I'll talk to you mid-months, and ciao for now.